Hey, shalom, shalom. Kahalali hawa bahasa Mosai, bahasa Makakudash. Dapat honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honor to the sincere arrogant person, this word in truth and sincerity, to the four corners of the globe, until Yahweh bahasa Mosai, kingdom be established. So shalom, shalom. Back at you with a video of edification pertaining to their health and their body, for the brothers and the few sisters out there. This is GMS Tazadak. This is my new channel, which is Tazadak 777, because Esau strike down my other channels, and I have one more strike, to get on my usual channel. So I have to be very careful of how I do videos on that other channel from now on. But this is just a quick lesson, if you will, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, because this is just a testimony that we speak the same thing, because myself recently, it was put into my spirit after I got real sick, last year, with this, the thing what was going around, I can't say the word, and I got into health, right? And it's about a month and something now. I have been doing this, as you see in here, in the intermittent fasting. And and it was the spirit, to put upon Pastor Gaba, who also did a video, concerning this thing. And I have to say hats off to Apostle Gaba, because he is doing the warrior the warrior, not really a diet, but the warrior. He reached the warrior stage. And that is real. That is you really have to be strong minded to reach that stage. So so hats off to Apostle Gaba for that. But so without further ado, let's get into this video here to help the brothers and sisters, the few sisters out there, because we have to take care of our bodies. We have to take care of our bodies, as you can see on the screen here. On top here, you see intermittent fasting, right? And this intermittent fasting, when you look up the word intermittent, it means random, or put a stop to, something what is actually random and not continuous. And what do we want to stop do continuous is actually eating, because our bodies was not created to eat, for the whole course of the day. It have 24 hours in a day, right? It have 24 hours. Let's say it have 24 hours in a day, but we know the day starts from sun goes down, right? But you have to understand how the body was created to process food, right? So intermittent fasting, as I say again, it is not a diet, because truth be told, diet do not work. Diet do not work at all, because majority of the times the people actually go back, they fall off the diet, and they start back eating the same junk what they was eating before, So intermittent fasting is actually a pattern or a strategy, to put your body back at, to the process that how it's supposed to be. For case an example is that when he was growing up, they taught us that eating 3 times a day, or morning, lunchtime, and dinner, that it was mandatory, that they have to eat, and majority of the people on the face of the earth, believe it or not, they consume or for convenience. Sometimes the body wants a rest, and they eat because they have the luggage to eat, or they have the ability to eat something. So they eat and they eat and they eat and they eat, right? But our bodies are not programmed or was not created to actually eat so much, And while we are talking about intermittent fasting, this is just a quick video, and this will be part 1. This will be part 1 because this video is actually long, That video, part 2 is going to consist of what to eat and how much to eat or how much to consume, because as the saying goes, too much of one thing is not good, You know, everything is about a balance, you know, and that is the scriptures we have here to read. Everything is a balance. The Most High deals with balance. You know, so intermittent fasting, it actually balances the body. It balances the system. It balances your cells in your body. It balances everything in your body when you do this intermittent fasting, right? And the benefits. Now, intermittent fasting, you know, intermittent fasting, right, produces, you know, your body produces hormones, right? And one of the hormones which is most important in your body that intermittent fasting produce is the growth hormone, right? When the growth hormone, this growth hormone, it actually prevents, you know, it is a kind of anti-aging hormone which repairs like muscles and stuff. You know, it prepares damaged hair, it prepares, you know, damaged skin, you know, it prepares white cells and stuff, you know, and the other one is insulin, right? And insulin is the other hormone that the body produces every single time you eat. You know, because truth be told is that every single time you eat, your body produces insulin, not just carbohydrates. You know, not just because you eat carbohydrates or you eat something with sugar, it produces insulin. No, every single time you eat, you produce insulin, you know, because insulin is the hormone that helps store fat. And our bodies need fat. Our bodies need fat to continue. But it's what kind of fat our bodies need. We need the healthy natural fat, you know, not trans fat, but the healthy natural fat. So with the insulin, insulin is such a powerful hormone that it will overpower the growth hormone. Understand what I'm saying? Insulin is such a powerful hormone that it will overpower the growth hormone, you know. And this is why people get this. It gives you the gut. You see, so when you see people have the fat guts, you know, and the fat, you know, the shoulders fat, not but your upper body fat, and you know, and the legs maybe thin, you know, or because people put on weight in different places. You know, sometimes they might see a fella with that's a big obstructive gut, but his legs and them is thin. You know, these kind of things. It's because of what? Too much of insulin in the body. And too much of insulin in the body gives, it makes you fat. It makes you get the gut. Because why? Insulin, it helps store fat. This is the hormones to help store fat. And when the body is actually producing too much of insulin, this is where obesity comes. Right? And the insulin, where's your growth hormone supposed to be in a balance, you know, because your growth hormones helps with the muscles and stuff, which helps break down fat. You know, it helps keeps you, how to put it, boy, like a BMI, you know, your body weight, your body mass. This is where your body mass comes in with the growth hormone. So let's say if someone is 5 like myself, which I am 5'9", you know, I am short, you know, as a short person, you know, 5'7" to 5'8" to 5'9". I'm not supposed to be weighing over like 160 or 170 something. That means I am overweight, you know. And this is where this comes in, the growth hormone, right? It balances off, right? But if the insulin is way too much, it's way too much, it overpowers the growth hormone, and it gives you what? Fat. Because we store fat. Because why? It helps store fat. The insulin helps store fat, right? And another way to explain it is that everything is a cycle, is a circuit. Everything is a circuit. Now the pancreas, which actually pushes out insulin, it needs a feedback. It needs feedback to say this is enough insulin for your body, right? And when this do not get the feedback, the pancreas get the feedback, it produces 5 to 7% and above much more insulin every time you eat. Every time you eat, it produces much more insulin. right? So it's not getting the time to lock off to say, hey, this is enough insulin for this body, you know. So this is what gives you what the gut. This is what gets you fat. You put on weight, you know, all around your organs, and this is how weight, you know, weight happens after a while, right? It starts with the fat, like the excess insulin, right? It turns into sugar, right? Which is what, and everybody knows, like the carbohydrate is energy, right? So what happens is that the fat, you know, it actually goes around the organs first before it shows. Before it shows in your body, before you get the gut, the fat goes around the organs first. And this is why people just have like a fatty liver, or, you know, a fat around the kidneys and stuff like that. It's because why? It goes around there first, right? Because it have no other way to go. And it have the pancreas. The pancreas is not getting the signal to lock off, if you understand what I'm saying, to lock off pushing insulin, right? And this is where this comes in, intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting help fix this. And once you help fix this, then the process will be reversed. It's a process, just like how your body is everything is a process. You know, it will help reverse the process. And this is not an overnight thing. You know, because majority of the people in the world, they think that they just go to sleep and get up and they was overweight overnight. And they expect to lose the weight overnight. You know, this is a process. This is a healing process. Intermittent fasting is a healing process. It's not a diet, but rather a pattern or a strategy for perfect health and weight loss. You know, because all the celebrities do this, you know. All these celebrities in the world, all the footballers, you know, all the soccer players out there who making millions of dollars, how they keep their body in check is by this intermittent fasting. And these doctors out there would not tell you that. You know, so this is why we have to be on our, you know, on our grind. You know, this is why we have to research things and stuff. You know, the Lord Yahweh Hashem gave us the power to actually, you know, research stuff. You know, so with that being said, so when the pancreas actually receive, you know, the correct signals to understand how much insulin to push out, then the process will be reversed. You know, and then this will happen. It will start to fix the fat around the organs. Firstly, it will fix the fat around the organs, and you will not see it because your organs is internal, but you will feel it. You know, I know Apostle Gaba, you know, Elder Apostle Gaba Shalom. You know, if you happen to actually see this video, I know you can actually testify. And like in after the first 2 weeks, you actually feel a difference in your body. You know, and that is the fat around the organs is actually being removed. You know, being removed. Because what happens with intermittent fasting is that the body, after a while, the body, when it's in a relaxed state, it actually switch to how to put it, boy, a self-eating, self-rebuilding mode. You know? So the excess fat around the organs, the body will target that. Understand? If the brothers understand what I'm saying, it will target the extra fat around that instead of eating and making your body target what you now eat. You know, let your body target to the fat that you have already stored in your body. You know? And it starts with around the organs first. Right? And when it starts around the organs first, you will actually feel a difference in your body. You know? When you start to fix this, it will feel a difference around your body. And you will actually be moving. You know, you will find yourself having plenty energy. You know, because when I started off, as I say, for me, when I started off, it was not hard in the sense of feeling hungry, right? And then after, when I was feeling hungry, I used to ask myself, am I really feeling hungry? Or is it just the cravings I have from continue eating every single minute, or continue eating? And when you have that kind of mind control, you realize, but wait, I'm not hungry. So while I was fasting, in my hours of fasting, you know what I did? I drink plenty water. I keep hydrated. You know, and after a while, you know, after a certain while, you know, you won't stop feel for sugars and sweet things and snacks and stuff like that. You know, your body will actually adjust. Because truth be told, when I do the research, and these are things that the doctors do not tell you, it takes scientists, let's say scientists say it takes 21 minutes, not 21 minutes, Salakia, 21 days to break a habit, right? But they wouldn't tell you it takes 10 days. Understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, or the few sisters out there? It takes 10 days for your body to actually reset and program. It takes 10 days. But between the 10 days, let's say one day, between the first and the 10th day, right? It is going to be the hardest 10 days you'll actually face. If you want to do something within your body, it's the first 10 days it takes, you know? And as I say that, you know what the Spirit not tell, the Spirit, let's say like Daniel. When Daniel, I think it's Daniel chapter 2, you know, when they were supposed to eat the meat of the kings, you know, the abominable meats and stuff, what Daniel say? Give them water and give them pulp, right? And look up the word pulp, but pulp, let's go back to vegetables and stuff, you know. It's vegetables and stuff, and this is what our forefathers ate, you know, vegetables and water, right? And say, and the only thing come back in what? I think it's either 10 days or 14 days. You know, I really had to go back over that you know, but that's a brief, you know, 10 days, and they saw the difference in their body, so it actually take 10 days. But the first 10 days is going to be the first hardest days you could see, you could actually feel. But when it pass 10 days, let's say make 2 weeks, it will be a customary thing for your body now. Your body say, well, all right, this is how we do it now. This is how it functioning now. Let's function this way. You know? So this is all information here that these doctors would not tell you. You know, because as the scripture said, let me just read the scripture. This is Surah chapter 30, verse 15. It says, health and good estate of body are above all gold. You know, above all gold. And there's a reason why they keep you sick. Because if you stay sick, they will be rich. You know, this is just the system that they designed. This is why we have to get out of this wicked place. You know, it says, Surah chapter 30, verse 15, it says, health and good estate of body are above gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. You know, above infinite wealth, a strong body. Because we have a saying, it does go, your health is your wealth. You know, a lot of people risk their health. They risk their health to obtain wealth. But it's the other way around. You know, it's the other way around. We're supposed to be striving to stay healthy. This is our wealth. You know, I was watching a movie. As I said that, I was watching a movie. You know, all these old Italian movies. I think the guy who was talking, he had to be an Italian in the movie now. Right? And he was talking to a young folk, you know. Well, I don't know if it was his family. This is a quick thing I saw now. And he was advising the young guy is that when you lose money, you lose nothing. You lose nothing when you lose money. You know, this system, you know, it triggers the mind to make you feel that the paper dollar is something when it is really nothing. So if you lose money, it's nothing, you know. But when you lose health, it's something, you know. And when you lose your character, you lose everything. But I have a saying, I switch wrong what he said. When you lose your character, you actually lose everything. But when you lose your health also, you actually lose everything also. Because your health affects everything. The way how you're thinking, the way how you're moving. You know, because truth be told, a lot of our people at certain ages, you know, you find that from 20 years or let's say late teenage years to 20 to 30, you know, they actually suffer with heart problems and diabetes and all these sicknesses. Whereas someone who was actually living in the 80s or in the 90s, it was very hard for them to get those sicknesses at that same age. So where have it all went wrong? And this is why we have to ask for the old parts. You know? It's a luck here. Just a luck here. That's watching the time now. Right? But anyway, so what I was saying is what I was saying is how things has actually changed from when the older folks was 20 and 30. You know, you see our generation, we getting sick, you know, real quick, like in our late teenage years, you know, early 30s, we suffering from knee problems and stuff. You know, these things like this simple thing here, intermittent fasting, because it have a saying is that you are what you eat. You know, you are what you also listen to. You are what you also involve yourself around. What you allow around you. You are that. You are that. You know, and this is why it's important to be around brothers. You know, spiritual men. You know, because you are that. If you are what a spirit, if you are a spiritual man, it's good to be around spiritual brothers. You know, with the same mindset. So it's the same thing. You are what you eat. But this video here is just a video of edification, and for brothers and the brothers who have wives also, you know, who suffer with certain, you know, female problems, I should say, you know, of the body, with their, you know, who suffer with cramps, because let's be real, you know, our wives, our women, you know, they suffer with cramps and stuff like that, and certain times of the month. This help fix that. The doctors would not tell you that, but this help fix that over a period of time. And this is not an overnight thing. This is supposed to be a daily, you know, a daily routine. Not an overnight fix. You do not fix your body overnight. You know, you do not wake up, you know, the same weight. You know, you wake up, let's say you wake up 200 pounds tomorrow morning. You didn't get that overnight. You get that over the years. You know, you're weighing 200 and something pounds. You get that over the years of constantly eating, you know, and the habits of eating and the pattern of how you eat. And this is where this comes in, intermittent fasting. It corrects that, you know. So when the pancreas, which produces or which pushes out the insulin, get the feedback from the body, which is saying this is enough. This is enough insulin for the body. It starts to do what? The body starts to repair itself. So the body starts to what? Fix the fat around the organs. Okay? Right? And this is just here, when you're seeing here, this is just a guideline of how you can apply eating. You know, because we have to do better. According to Pastor Gaba, you know, he also said this in his video. You know, this is just like a response, you know, to his video. You know, but we have to do better. We have to do better. It doesn't make no sense that we are out there on the highways and the byways and we're risking our lives, but we're sick and we cannot actually stand up for long because why? Too much of sugar in our body. You know, too much of fat. We overweight. So the weight in our ankles start to swell. Our feet start to swell. And you know, we can't go there and do the works because simple thing as watching how you eat. You know, watching how you eat. You know, we have to do better. Right? We're not saying that we could do it perfect. We are not looking for perfection here. This is not our kingdom. You know? But as the scripture said, Surah 30 verse 15, it says, health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. Right? Because why? Our bodies, we need our bodies to do the work. If your body cannot do the work, how would the work be pushed? Or how the word of the Lord would be pushed? Study that. You know, study this. This is why you have to jump on this now. Because you realize, but wait now, you have to be at a certain, you know, grade to actually do the work. Because if Esau could have it in his kingdom, you know, like you want to uphold Esau laws by actually going to the police force or going to the Navy SEALs and stuff like that. You have to be fit. You have to be able to complete the task. So it's the same thing with the Lord. The same thing with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, you can't be sick and that you cannot go there and do the work, but you can't because your ankle or your ankle swell and stuff, you're overweight or you're sick, or you know, these kind of things. You have to take care of your body to do the work also, to do the Lord's work, you know. Right. So this is just a quick demonstration of how intermittent fasting works, you know. So when you see it here, this is 5 meals, as you could see it here. I don't know if all you could see it. This is 5 meals, right? And this is how the average person eats. I just say 5 meals, but we know the people eat more than 5 times a day. We people love to eat. You know, our people love to eat. You know, especially the so-called Americans out there. The Jakes over there in Babylon the Great. And by extension all over, you know. But the convenience that they have, hey, they could run in a store and they eat something, or they could run in a store and they could do this and they could actually eat. So they eat. You know, they consume. They consume too much. Because why? This is where the system lied to our people, right? Breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. Okay? So you have breakfast, you have lunch, you have snack. But some people, when they eat breakfast, a little again they're hungry, so they eat something here, which is called a snack, and then they eat a lunch. And when they eat lunch, they feel hungry again, they eat a snack. And then when they eat dinner, they eat a snack. And the snack here is late night snacking. You know, it's called late night snacking. And watch how the insulin affects the body. Because this is where the insulin line is supposed to be, right? Watch your little dotted lines here. When you eat breakfast and you feel fast snack, here you make the snack, let's say you eat a snack here before you eat lunch. The insulin would not have time to drop. Your body will not have time to regulate the insulin, to drop it on the line. Okay? So it goes back up to lunchtime. And when lunchtime now, you have a next snack here. So it even dropping on the line here. So it should back up one time. Everything that you eat or consume, it produces insulin. Not just have carbohydrates or sugars. Because why? Our body needs fat. It stores a certain amount of fat to actually go on during the course of the day. Okay? So with the 5 meals a day, okay, so it shoots insulin very high. Right? And when it's time for you to sleep in the night now, your body is actually going into overdrive to actually try to work back out this whole scenario here. I will call it scenario here. And days upon days upon days, weeks upon weeks upon weeks, months upon months upon months, years upon years upon years, this is your eating habit here. What will you think will happen? Let me tell you what will happen. First, you will start to store fat around your organs. And when your fat around your organs is complete, then you get the gut, then you get thick thighs, thick legs. You know, then you get fat on your back and stuff like that. And then it affects everything, which is, it leads to diabetes. Which is in, what did I say? It's proven that is one of the highest rated killers in the so-called black, what I say, Israelite community. You know, this is it, diabetes. Because why? Of our eating habits. Okay? So what's your insulin again? It's supposed to be any dotted line, like how this one is. This one is. It's not like this, right? Then it have the ones 3 meals a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Which majority of us, like myself, used to do. Because I'm not a snack person. I am not a snack person. Right? But I used to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when I miss lunch or something like that, I used to feel like, like my body missing something. And it's in reality, is that was just in mind. Because this is what they teach us. This is what they teach us. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Right? 3 meals. Right? But in order to correct your body, you have to start from this. 3 meals. Same 3 meals. 3 meals. Just like here. 3 meals. But understand how the 3 meals go. Because remember, intermittent fasting is not a diet. It is not a diet. It's a pattern. A routine of how to eat, when to eat, and when for your body to rest. Okay? And although it is not a diet, your body needs a certain amount of calories to function for the day. You can't say, well, I ain't eating that and I ain't eating that and I ain't eating that and no. You understand? You need a certain amount of calories to function for the day. Especially if you are overweight. You know? Because everything is balance. Balance, balance. Balance makes you lose weight. Not just cutting anything. Balance makes you lose weight. If the right amount of fats for your body, the right amount of protein for your body, the right amount of carbohydrates for your body. You know, when you get the perfect balance, then you lose weight. Okay? So this is where you want to start here. You want to start 3 meals a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay? With 8 hours. Within 8 hours. So this is your window here. You have an 8 hours window here. Okay? As you see here, fasting. You're fasting for 16 hours. But you're allowed to eat for 8 hours for the day. Example being, your first meal, which is just what it is here, breakfast. Breakfast. You know, majority of our people get this word breakfast real twisted. You know, they do not actually know the meaning of it. They just say breakfast, breakfast, or people that say breakfast, you know. So they're feeling that breakfast should be in the morning. You know, like as they get up, you must eat something. That is far from reality. When you get up, right, how your body works. You know, when they get up, like, just take for animals, for instance. When an animal gets up from a sleep in the night, okay, what they do, the first thing they do is stretch. You know, the first thing they do is stretch. And that is another important thing. What we're supposed to be doing also, as we get up from slumber or we arise, the first thing we should do is stretch. Stretch out your ligaments, stretch out your body. You know, the first thing you should really do or really consume when you actually wake up from sleep is a glass of water. You know, it's a glass of water. You know, and you could put lemon in the water, which is a plus. You know, it alkalines the water. So majority of the time it's supposed to be water. You're not supposed to go and just coffee and you know, and start to stuff your face and stuff like that. No. Right? So what you want to do is that if you have this window here, this is just an example. 11, let's say it's 11 o'clock during the day. It's your first meal. Okay? Slacky. Right. 11 o'clock in the day is your first meal. Let's say that's your first meal. Okay? Your last meal is supposed to be 7 o'clock because that is the 8 hours window. Right? So your first meal in the day. Your first meal after you then drink your water and you hydrate the body. You know, and you let the body regulate until 11 o'clock. Right? Your first meal of the day is supposed to be full what? Full with nutrients. Your breakfast is supposed to be what? Lots of nutrients. Meaning that if you have the ability or the money, because you know, eating this way, it will put, you know, not really pressure, but it will need you will need to actually spend your money. But when you're spending money on your wealth, on your health, you are not losing nothing. You are actually gaining something. You rather spending money on your health instead of things in the world. You know, brothers maybe had the little thing what the spirit like. Some guys maybe like sneakers, or some guys maybe like cars, you know, or something like that. I'm just saying, I'm I'm not condemning anybody. I'm just saying, your first thing supposed to be, when you're spending your money, upon yourself, spend it on your health. Make sure you're eating the right set of stuff. Make sure that it's accessible for you to actually get. So with the right amount of fats and the right amount of proteins, and nutrition and like carbohydrates and stuff, the right amount, that's supposed to be what? Your breakfast, because this is what it is. It is breakfast. You're breaking your fast, and should be told, majority of the times, you want to, when you're having a breakfast, you drink something warm to hot. But I do not support the hot because my personal reasons, I like room temperature stuff. I do not like to drink hot stuff, but room temperature stuff and above then, not to say hot, but something to actually bring up gas. You bring up the gas, because it was fasting for 16 hours. So your body will produce gas, so it becomes something like gas. And what helps with this is that when you're drinking the water early in the morning, as you get up, you want to put some ginger in that water, because ginger helps brings up gas. It helps cuts gas, right? So when you want to start from 11, you want to make sure that lots of nutrients, right? And you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have an 8-hour window. An 8-hour window to eat, right? But you're watching while you're eating. Remember, it's not a diet. It is not a diet. You can eat between the 8 hour breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but eating with moderation. Because sometimes we forget our stomach is like this. It's like this. This is the size of your stomach. Your stomach is a small, it's small. But when you eat in moderation, it gives the body signals to say, hey, this is the amount, let's break this down. And while it's breaking it down, it's having the eat breakfast with moderation, with lots of nutrients. You will not feel hungry until lunchtime. You know why? Because your body getting the right nutrients. Once your body get the right nutrients, you will not feel hungry. Like fats. Fats is a very, very important for your body. Example of fats, avocados, walnuts, chia seeds, fats, vegetables, like the olive oil, the coconut oil. All these things are fats. These things are good for the body because why? It suppresses hunger. So your body do not feel hungry, which means that you will have less insulin spike because you will not eat anything until lunchtime. And when you eat lunch now, you will still be feeling hungry from, you will still be select, you will still be feeling satisfied from breakfast. So you will eat a little lunch. And when the dinner time comes, you eat a little bit because why? You're still feeling full because why? You give anybody nutrients and the body actually functioning how it's supposed to function, breaking down the food and whatnot, right? Bam. So if you want to start from 11, look out for 7. This is just an example of times. And I will show you how I do it now. And this one is 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Okay? This is 10 to 6. So you start in 10 o'clock in the morning and the lock off time is 6 o'clock. And I will keep on saying it again. It is not a diet. It's just a pattern of how to eat and when the body needs to rest to actually process the food. Because we do not want our insulin spiking so high. This is dangerous here. This is borderline diabetes. This is loss of vision. And men, I'm talking to the men now, diabetes actually affect your, how to put it, boy, I would say it raw, your penis. When it comes to having sex, you cannot stand up or you cannot stand up hard. It kind of, how to put it, boy, kind of halfway dead and stuff like that. If you're really realizing that, I'm not condemning nobody, I'm just talking truth. If you're really, you can't perform and you realize, but wait now, you're only in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s and you can't perform like how you're supposed to be performing. Because our forefathers used to perform. You know, our forefathers used to perform. So, this will help you perform. Because you do not want this too much of insulin in your body. You want to get your insulin level like this here. You see this here? As you eat lunch, pops come around one time. Then a pop thing. This is how you want the insulin to look. Your insulin mustn't look like this. Right? So this is just the 3 meals a day. This is the 3 meals a day. I started off with this and it worked. It worked. I am telling you, I'm testifying on it, it worked. You know, it works. Right? And then I graduated to this. You know, I went on to this. With 2 meals a day. And I was fasting for 20 hours. And eating 4. Okay, 4. Now when I started this, it was hard. Because my body, as I say, after 10 days, your body has got accustomed. It you know, it regulates. It actually starts from it shut down and start to rebuild. Like it start to reboot. You know? So it start to get like this. You know, still okay? Right, I still have time, man. Right? So when I started off with this now, this was hard. 4 hours 20. You know? 4 hours 20. Right? And this was real hard for me. So you know what I did? I will show you, I'll make space for mine after. I'll make space for mine to show you that how I eat. Right? But this is where you want your insulin should be. That your body will regulate. And this is the fastest weight loss. This will make you lose weight incredibly fast. And not just any kind of weight. The most important weight is around your organs and the gut. This is where you want to be. But it's steps. Steps you have to take. Steps. You can't start that just so unless you have the very, 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 very strong mind. You know? So, this is 2 meals a day. When you're fasting 20 hours for the day and you're eating for 4 hours. Example being your first meal, which is your breakfast because you was fasting. So you're breaking a fast, which is your first meal. Right? And this is, I have lunch here. Right? I have lunch here. But I just only put lunch because it's like 1 o'clock now. So majority of the people understand it as lunch. But this lunch is really supposed to be your breakfast. You know? So what you're breaking your fast with, if you know, as I say, you could look up and stuff like that for your body because everybody's body different. Everyone's body different. Everyone have different likings to their body because everybody's spirit is different. You know? So this is just an example. Is what you want to do and how to do it. Okay? So when you're fasting 20 hours, right? So when you're breaking your fast, let's say you break your fast 1 o'clock, your next meal, which will be a dinner, will be around 5 o'clock in the evening. That is the 4 hours windows you have. 2 meals a day. Okay? Or if you want it 2 o'clock in the evening, your lock-off time is 6 o'clock in the evening. 2 meals a day. But I'm going to give you some tricks in this because it has little twists and tricks. Okay? It has very, 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 very low calorie foods. Example being cucumbers and stuff like that. Cucumbers, tomatoes, lettuce. All these things are very, very, very low in calories. That even though if you consume it between these 4 hours here, it would not spike your insulin so high to reach there. It will give it a little, boop. So your insulin will actually stay on the line. That's if you're feeling hungry. But as I say, this is for the strong-minded, willed people, who actually wants to lose weight, who needs to lose weight for health reasons. This one is it. Okay? This one is it. Right? So you want the 4 hours, but the 4 hours, your last, and this is the next trick too, because remember, I go on fast for 20 hours. So if you're going to fast for 20 hours, what I do, because I had to change this, because I work at my work, I work night shifts, right? I work night shifts. And when I do this, and I come home in the morning to go to sleep, my body is actually full of energy. I just feel, like, I just feel that you can't sleep. You can't sleep. You can't sleep. Because you're full of energy, you're full. And you just think. And then after, because how the certain work I just do, I just move around plenty in the night. I just move around because I work in a factory. So it have to always body movements and stuff. So when I reach home now, I'm very, very, very hungry. Because I work, it's not like if I slept the night, and I could actually drink water until 2 o'clock in the day. So I have to switch up minds all the time. And this is why this thing is so good, because you can switch it up. And let's give you an example. Right? So with the 20 hours, here the trick. Let's say your lock off time is 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. What you want to do is you want to eat something what will sustain you. Example being fats sustain, protein sustains. An example of what I eat oats. I eat oats. I blend up oats with bananas and I blend up oats with bananas and pawpaw and stuff like this. Healthy with some coconut with coconut milk or almond milk. Natural organic now, like organic stuff. It do not taste good. Let's be real, it do not taste good. It does get a little, according to how you like it. But I blend it up. I blend up a big, like, I actually carry it to work too. And when you drink on that, you feel full. It actually fills you. It fills you. So when your body actually break that down, it's going back down to the flat line. The insulin is going to be back down to the flat line, so you will have nothing to eat again to feel hungry to spike it back up. So this is where you want to be. You want to be here. You want to be here. And I know brothers out there who are actually blessed with the bodies. Even though they could eat certain things, they would not put on weight because they how their body was, created and designed. But for me, I could just talk for me, is that I have to watch what I eat. Because I come from let's say a family who overweight. So I do not know if it's genetic or stuff, but I actually adopt this so I will not get sick. I would not get diabetes, I will not get sugar. So I actually adopt this. And this is actually going on with me now for a month and something, and I lose a lot of weight. But you don't see it first, you feel it. And certain clothes I had, like what could not fit me, certain pants and stuff, what I liked, I could not throw it away, but certain pants and things are actually fitting it in now, And this week here, Father's willing, Yahweh Shai willing, if I get the time, adding a little exercise with this too. A little skip rope, a little jump rope, a little shadow boxing. Shadow boxing is one of the number one cardio that have out there, boxing. So shadow boxing, and stretching. So this is where you want to be. So to lose weight and to keep it, and this is the, what's that? Yahweh Shai knows how great this knowledge is. With this, when you actually start this and you implement this and it remove the fat of your organs, right? And you regulate the insulin in your body, you will actually keep off weight. This is the thing. This is why this is not a diet, but this is better than the diet. Because with the diet, you will actually put back on weight. You know how much people you know, every minute they say they're on a diet, they're on a diet, they're on a diet, but they see no improvement. And you know, and you know what? Back to square one. You know, but this, when you implement this, you actually keep off the weight. So even though if you're feeling like a day, like let's say 3 weeks pass and you was strict with this, let's say start with here, the 8 hours, you know. This is just an example because it have many. Okay? Let's say start with the 8 hours eating, right? But before lunch or before dinner, you feel for a snack. You feel for a cake. You know, you feel for certain, you know, like a snack, you smell something that, you know, and you say, hey, I could partake in this. Guess what? When it start to when the thing regulate, it might take 10 days. When it start to regulate, okay, you would not put on the weight. You would not put on weight. You know, you would not put it back on. Okay? So even though you could snack, but when your body regulate, and your body could actually say, well, how it's supposed to feel now, you could actually snack in between, not every day, but in between, like, you know, you're feeling for something, you know, don't deprive yourself because it's not a diet, you know, and this is the nice thing about intermittent fasting. It is not a diet, you know, it's just a pattern or a strategy how to fix your body and lose weight. You know, it have many benefits. You know, we could go whole day. That was it. This is just part one. But we could go whole day to show you how benefit men and women could receive from this. Especially the men out there. We was talking about, you know, they can't actually perform in the bed. You know, your premature ejaculation. Just fixing that. You know? Because with this now, you'll be conscious of what you're eating. And there are certain things you eat to fix premature ejaculation. There are certain things like watermelon, you know, certain things like okra, certain things like fish. Fishes are very high in fats and high in protein. You know? But they're not frying the fish though. In order to get the full nutrients out of the fish, you have to boil it. You know, we down here, we just call it fish broth. You know? In Trinidad here, we call it fish broth. You know? Or we call it manish water. You know, that's for men. You know, but to regulate, it have babwande. Babwande is a good root. You could take ginseng as a good root. You know, and these are the things that men, especially going up in our age, I should say our age because I just talked for myself too. I just take my little herbs and take my little stuff. You know, so when that time reach, you know, let us be real, we men, we do not want to go in and, let's say we're going to perform and, you know, it is not standing up, you know, it's soft, you know, because why? It could be the sugar, it could be the insulin, too much of insulin in the body. You know, too much of insulin in the body can make you blind too. You know, too much of sugar when they get diabetes, they have to cut off a limb. They have to cut off a limb or a hand or something. You know, and all this could be avoided by this intermittent fasting. You know, because at the end of the day, everything is a balance. Your body needs the balance. Your body needs it. You know, yes, for example, let's say you're going by the mechanic to change the oil. Now you could argue with someone to say, I just change the oil, you just change the oil in a car. Yes, but what timing? What timing do you change your oil? Is a certain time. So you see it to be eating. Whatever you put in your body, which is the engine, your body needs actually rest to work out what you put in your body. You know? So when the insulin shooting up like this, you don't want it like this. but you want the insulin level like this. So as you eat something, your insulin will speak, your insulin will spike, but your body will bring it back down, which will be the pancreas will receive that message that the body, alright, it's sufficient insulin, go back down, and by the time you eat again, right, the pancreas receive the message, push out insulin, and lock it back off. You know? But when that happens now, when this happens, before I close, when this happens, and your body regulates, this performs the growth hormone. And I'll leave it to you brothers and your sisters to look up the growth hormone and what the growth hormone do. You understand? But I could actually do it on the next video, which is part 2 to this video. Right? With the growth hormone and the white blood cells and stuff. Why this important? You know? So that's why, hey, before I close, I say I want to show you mine, what I do. Because how I work, you know, I can't do the 20 hours and the 4 hours because of how I work. I work night shift and stuff sometimes, you know. So let me just rub off this. Of course, I don't want to rub it off, you know. But all the brothers get the point, you know. So let me just rub off this part here and show you what I do and what I adopt. You know? Right. So this is what I do. I adopt a 2 meal for the day. Two meal for the day, right? This is my one. I adopt 2 meal for the day, right? And this will be my breaking fast, which will be around 12 o'clock in the day. Okay, around 12 o'clock in the day. And my dinner will be 6 o'clock. So it's 12 after 12, 6 after 6. So about 6 minutes, a 6 hour window. About 6 hours window there. Okay? And my insulin should be looking something like this. Okay? And that's, you know. And this is where it's going to be. My insulin will be looking something like that because remember, every time you eat, your insulin spike. Anything you eat, your insulin spike. Anything. It could be good, it could be bad. But as I say, with the cucumbers and stuff, it have very, 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 very low calories. So even though your insulin spike, while you eat a snack, cucumbers or salad, a salad snack, you know, it will drop back down one time. Right? Even though it will spike, but it will drop back down one time because it's very, 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 very low in calories. Okay? So I start from 12 o'clock in the day. This is how I eat, 12 in the day. And my lock-off time is 6 o'clock. And this is how I eat. This is how I function. So I know, so even if I work in a night shift, my lock-off time is still 6 o'clock. Okay? It's still 6 o'clock. And I'm going to work in the night, but what I eat 6 o'clock is very important. You know, I blend up my oats, I say, and I make a smoothie. I make a big, 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 big smoothie. A real big, you know, something big, something strong, something have plenty. Sometimes I just put beetroot and stuff. Thing to pack. To pack. I pack the smoothie, you know. So when I actually drink it and I feel it, I feel very, 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 very full. You know, even if I work, I go home and sleep and get back up before 12 o'clock. And by 12 o'clock, my body feeling alright. You know, I could break my fast, drink some water, you know, drink some lemon water, you know, and eat again. And this is my own. This is how I do it. This is how I adopt my intermittent fasting, and it's actually working for me. You know? And before I go, this is Surah again, 30 verse 15. It says, health and good estate of body are above all gold. You see, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a strong body, and no joy above the heart. You know, so when a body in perfect health, you could actually see, you could actually move around, you could actually walk, you could actually, you know, it have majority of our people can't even stoop down. You know? So the scripture said what? A good health. Everything is a balance, as the scripture said. A matter of fact, let me get it before I leave. This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. It says, a false balance is an abomination with the Most High Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. Find a perfect balance in everything. Your body, you need a perfect balance. Your body need a balance. You know? So with that, giving all praises and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham Melshai, Ba'asham Makakodash, you know, that what honor say apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This is just, you know, a quick video to the ahchyam out there pushing his word. This is just a video, you know, just to help, you know, any brother who see it. If it's even with one brother, one sister himself, you know, see it and try it. You know, all praises to Yahweh. Still say shalom, shalom. And let's on to the next one. Shalom for now.